What is up, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Cage. You know who we are. If not, our names are below us. I'm Jalen. That's my boy Eric. How we feeling today?
Feeling pretty great, man. And I am hyped about these fight announcements. I've been talking to everybody at work, texting everybody. You know they might be coming out to the West Coast by us. We'll get into that, but I think
Yes, sir.
we're both the most hyped about Suga Sean finally getting the
Yeah.
announcement. UFC 299, the rematch with Cheeto Vera. I'll ask you off the rip. Do you think Cheeto deserves it? Obviously, it makes the most sense. But
I think I don't think in some cases I think it matters if this person deserves it, if this person deserves it. Um I think when the guy is standing across from them, the superstar Suga Sean, when it makes the most sense for Suga Sean, then yes, Cheeto deserves it. So it doesn't matter if he deserves it or not. It makes the most sense for Suga Sean. So yes, 100% Cheeto deserves this fight. Let's fucking rock. UFC 299, baby. The main event. Hopefully it's in the Suge Mobile Arena. Yeah. First, it's gonna be big, bro. First title defense. Did
I
they say you're not the
know.
champ until you defend it once? So I'm fucking excited. I'm excited he gets another striker. I'm excited he gets someone who really doesn't get knocked out. I'm excited for just the build up that it's gonna be. This is the one he wanted. Suga Cheeto 2. I love it. I love that he has a rival early on. Maybe if he wins this one, knock on wood, it's not close. But if it is close, we see a third fight. And I'm all for those rivalries. So I'm excited, man. We know there's few guys when there's fight announcements drops, and he's one of them for us. So I'm fucking stoked
Mm-hmm.
for this one.
Bro, I already know Sugar's just gonna destroy him. It's gonna be a mopping of the floor. Because in their first fight, Sean was on his way to doing that, but he got the drop foot thing. Cheeto's Ecuadorian toe hit Sugar's nerve in the perfect spot. He had the dead leg. I know it sounds like excuses, but he really couldn't stand on it. He was just rolling his ankle every 10 seconds. But this fight, as long as something like that doesn't happen, Sean's just going to be faster. He's going to be longer. He's going to be smarter. He's going to be slicier. And he's just going to embarrass Cheeto Vera. I hope it's in either Phoenix or Vegas because we have got to get there.
Phoenix is a big one. I like Phoenix for that. Give Sugar a little home field advantage. I like that. Yeah, obviously I want Vegas. I think that I want to see the numbers he'd do in Vegas as the headliner. I want to see what he could do. Let's test it out. Obviously it's 299 right before 300. So yeah, we kind of got the rest of the year, or the first quarter of the year of 2024 mapped out. We had some other things. Dricus Duplessis for Sean Strickland got announced for the middleweight title. What did you think of this one? Did you think Dricus? I'll ask you now. Do you think Dricus deserved this?
I think he deserves it over Hamzat. If it was between
Hold on,
those
hold on,
two,
hold on, hold on. Didn't they say the winner gets the next title shot, or they just mean like the winner gets the title shot? I thought it was next.
I'm pretty sure Dana did say that in that fight announcement
Yeah,
video.
that's what I
I
thought.
might still have it on here.
That's what I thought the whole announcement was about.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see if
What's
I'll
up,
play
everybody?
this
You
one
know
real
what we've been
quick and
dealing
let
with
me
this
see if
week.
he actually
We
says
just got
it.
the big fight done yesterday, the highly anticipated rematch in Abu Dhabi, the main event, Makachev versus Volkanovski. Now you've been waiting for the co-main event. Costa's hurt. All the rumors that are flying around. We got it done. So the number 4 welterweight in the world, Khamzat Chimaev, is moving up the middleweight, and he will face the number 1 welterweight in the world, Kamaru Usman. So number 1 versus number 4 at middleweight. Usman versus Chimaev.
I think I cut it short, but I think he did say that.
Yeah, that's yeah. Um,
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know
Hamza
because
hasn't beaten a middleweight yet, so he can't really get a title shot, right?
so my read on the situation was it was only that deal if Kamaru won. I think I kind of mentioned that on the podcast
Yeah.
before when this first got broken down, because I read something that Ali Abdiz is doing an interview and how the whole contract of that fight went down, and that was one of the things that Ali wanted, was that if Kamaru wins, he gets the next title shot. So that's why I think that's why it was kind of announced and so in the open because it was in the contract. So they're probably like, you need to put it out there, blah blah blah. I don't think they told Dana anything, and Dana does what they say, but I think that was for sure in the contract if Kamaru won. But yeah, I mean, and you have a great debate there. Is he hasn't beat a middleweight. But yeah, I mean, if let's say he does get the next shot, I like either Sean Strickland or Dricus for Hamzat. Those are both interesting matchups as well. As far as this fight goes, who else would you say deserved it over Dricus? Because Dricus was going to get the next shot versus Izzy.
Yeah, I think, because they said when Dricus and Rob fought, the winner of that was getting the title shot. So Rob was going to get to fight Izzy for the third time, or Dricus was going to get to fight him, and Sean ended up foiling those plans a little bit. So I think it should be Dricus versus Sean.
Not to get off topic here, but is a Robert Whitaker versus Hamzat, can that be on the table?
I like that a lot. I think it's between them and Cannonier. I think two of those three are going to fight. And I guess Cannonier and Whitaker already fought. So, yeah, let's go either Cannonier versus Hamzat, in my opinion. I like that. Or I like Whitaker versus Hamzat a lot, too.
Yeah, I think that's the one because I still think Whitaker's, and again, he got knocked out brutally. But I still think he's a guy where if he gets a big win, he gets the shot. I mean, up until recently, we were saying it's Izzy's the best middleweight in the world above everybody, and then it's Whitaker 2, and then big gap then 3. So
That's
yeah,
facts.
I think obviously he got knocked out, but yeah, I mean, Whitaker's one of the best middleweights of all time. I think he's still in that contention. I think it was a bad matchup. I think it was a bad matchup for him, just the pressure he put on. But I still think he's one of those top 4, 5, 3 guys at that division.
Yeah, it's crazy how quick you forget about people or how quick they fall down.
Yeah,
the rankings, just one performance, and that's what's so great about this sport too. It's not like basketball where if you have a bad game and you score 4 points, you can go out the next night and drop 50 and you feel way better. And this one, these losses sit with you for months, sometimes years if you get injured. It's just it's a nuts sport. I love it. And after that one, we get Alexander the Great Volkanovski defending his featherweight belt against Ilya El Matador Topuria, and it's rumored to be in Los Angeles. It's rumored to be in LA.
I didn't watch his trailer video. Did the one I sent you? What made it seem that was the rumor?
At the end of the video, it said UFC 298 Los Angeles.
Oh, it actually said Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Oh, we got some business decisions to make because if that's in LA, but then we got Suga in Vegas, we got some decisions to make.
Yeah, if we hit the bets, we could just put that in the pot to go to both.
Yeah, dude, that's those are two great, bro. Those obviously we got 95 this weekend. 96 is huge. And then you got 97 with Dricus and Sean. That's a big one. But I'm looking at obviously this weekend's huge, 296. Then you got 298, 299, and then we know what 300 is going to be. Who's left for 300?
There's one guy that comes to my mind. Come on, Mystic. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be because the timing doesn't really work for anyone else. I think Islam probably gets on it.
So no title fight at 300. I mean, obviously, if Islam on it, but if you're saying Connor's the headliner, there's no title fight for the UFC 300.
I think. I mean, if Volk goes out there and wins, I bet he tries to get on it against someone.
You think so?
If he wins, if he just does it,
Volkanovski early, bro.
Thing, that's how he is, though.
I think we see Max Holloway on 300. I think we see Max Holloway on 300.
Yep, I saw Dustin Poirier. He either tweeted or put on his IG story UFC 300 with the eyes emoji. So, excuse me, but I think Dustin will be on it. I don't really know who Dustin would fight. Maybe I don't know. Not Max.
Maybe Max.
Yeah, that would be the third time though, and Dustin's already beat him twice.
Yeah,
they were great fights.
Can we do We can't do Poirier and Gaethje. I mean, I'm sorry. We can't do no, because Chandler's fighting. Fuck.
Yeah, Poirier has already fought almost all the top lightweights, I feel like, unless he fights a welterweight or Max.
We can't do December, January, February, March. So it's probably in April.
Yeah, it'll probably be.
We can't do I don't. It just depends on when. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough, dude. We always thought it'd come together, but now that we're looking at the lineup, like who's left, you got to look at like what big names are left. I mean, obviously, I think probably Bo Nickel will be on there.
Maybe the winner of this weekend's cards, both the heavyweight and the light heavyweight again.
Yeah.
Or both, this weekend's 2 title fights get either Pereira, Yuri winner, and then
I
Sergey
can't believe
Aspinall.
I can't believe I said Dustin and Gaethje because I was thinking like of all the names at that division. I was like, he's fought all of them, so I was like, I was just rattling off names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. That's real interesting. What 300? I mean, it's obviously we agree it's got to be Connor.
Yeah, that one adds up well with the timing.
Yeah, I would assume Islam and Charles. It's got to be that's next.
I want to say Islam and Charles got confirmed for something.
No, they were supposed to be. When's the Canada one?
Oh yeah, the Strickland one. That is. Let me see.
Yeah, they were supposed to be that one. That one's in Toronto. They're supposed to be that one. So yeah, I mean they could be 300, but then see, this is what we talked about all along for 300 was like you're gonna put Connor as the main with no title fight, and then you're gonna put title fights below him. It's weird.
Yeah, like I've always said, if the guys have common sense, they'll realize they're gonna make a lot more money from Connor being on the card if they're getting pay-per-view points.
To see how that plays out,
dude.
Because I don't think Connor fights. I mean, Connor's the fucking main event, bro. Connor's the fucking main event.
Yeah, he has to be. I don't think there's anyone you can fucking.
What a scene, bro! Conor McGregor walking out at UFC 300. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills already.
Yep. I don't know why, but lately I've just been thinking, if Conor beats Chandler, does he get a title shot?
Yes.
Dude, just imagine Conor versus Islam.
Yes.
That would be up there with Khabib for the pay-per-view.
Yes, he 100% gets a title shot.
100%. That would be the best build-up. All the old.
He was gonna get it, bro. If he beat Conor, if he beat Dustin in Abu Dhabi, he was gonna fight Khabib again.
Yeah, it's just like 1-4 in your last 5, and then.
Bro, it doesn't fucking matter. Who cares?
Okay,
so him being like you said, if he beats Chandler, he'd be 1-4 in his last 5.
Or it'd be 2-3 now.
Okay, so 2-3 in his last 5. He fights Islam for the belt, being 2-3 in his last 5. Do those pay-per-view numbers change if he's 5-0 in those 5 fights? No. So it doesn't fucking matter.
That's crazy. He's really he's so big now. It doesn't even matter like winning or losing. He's still the same draw because now it's a comeback fight. If he was 5-0, he'd be on his GOAT shit, but now he's just on his comeback shit.
But man, I'll tell you what a sport it is when we have a pay-per-view this weekend and we haven't even touched on it in the first 15 minutes of this pod.
It's a sport of anticipation.
What a sport.
Like they say.
Yeah. I've been anticipating this one. UFC 295 this weekend. Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight title. And we got Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. Is this interim here?
It should honestly be vacant, but I think they'll do interim because they want John to have the belt.
Okay.
But then it's weird because if John,
versus Tom Aspinall coming in on what? They had 9 days, 3 weeks, 2 weeks notice, something like that, 12 days.
Yeah.
In Madison Square Garden. Interesting stat for you here. Interesting fact. Alex Pereira is the first fighter in UFC history to headline Madison Square Garden more than once.
Yeah. Okay,
Poeton. Yeah, I got a little of my history back there.
Okay, I like that stat.
I mean,
MSG is a historic fight venue.
he got one because of Izzy, but we won't count that. But
And then this one was technically drawn, but hey, he still got it done. He still got the stat done.
I'll tell you what, ain't no one have better luck of the draw or shit than Alex Pereira. Not that he hasn't earned everything he's got, but he's talking about right place, right time.
Yup. Yeah, Suga talks about his career, everything falling into place. With Poeton's UFC career, everything has fallen into place perfectly.
Literally everything, man. Yeah, he's fighting for the title. What is this? His third title fight? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
like his 10th or not even 10th fight, like his 7th or 8th UFC fight.
Yeah, what was that? And Yuri both. Him and Yuri both. They're just not a lot of fights in the UFC.
Pereira's 8-2 in MMA in general. Not even just the UFC. That's a crazy record to already have 3 of those have been title fights.
Yeah. Who do you obviously both interesting styles. Like some would say similar. I don't think they're similar much. Yeah, who do you like, Yuri or Alex?
Yeah, I don't really think I would agree that they're not similar just because Alex is a more technical striker. Yuri's just more wild freestyle, I guess you could call it, where Pereira's a kickboxer. And I think I like Poeton here. I've been going back and forth on this one as I usually do, but I think on the feet, Poeton's just way more technical. He's going to land. Glover was landing on Yuri in that great fight that they had. So if Glover is able to find his chin a good amount of times, I believe that Pereira can as well. I think it would be smart for Yuri to take Pereira down, but I don't know if he'll be able to because Pereira's definitely working on that, probably just as much as striking because he knows that's a threat. And it's not like Yuri's some crazy wrestler. So I like Poeton here. I think it's about even money. Poeton might be a slight favorite. Yeah, we got Alex Pereira minus 125 or minus 130. Who do you like in this one?
I am no longer betting against Alex Pereira. I'll take Alex Pereira in this. I just think that I don't know. I don't see Yuri being able to touch him as much as Alex is going to touch him. I think he's going to be interesting. I think Yuri's going to be an interesting puzzle for Alex to solve. I don't think he's really seen someone like that. No one's really seen anything like Yuri until you see him. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I just think Alex is too solid, man. He's too technical. He doesn't go away, keeps coming. And I just think he's not phased by any stuff. So yeah, I'm going to have to go Alex here. I just got to go with again, Yuri coming off a long break. I'll go Alex. More active, been in the trenches, been in the dog fights. A win over Izzy and a win over Jan Blachowicz are really big wins. Those are good wins. So again, they're not really much experienced, but in this fight, I would say Alex has more experience. I mean, Yuri went the distance with Glover Teixeira at what, 42?
Yeah, exactly. And Glover, he got about as close to winning as you can get. Rocked him, and then Yuri just, I mean, not taking anything away from that because Yuri just found a way to win. But yeah, man, given that performance and how he looked against Glover and the fact that Glover has the scout on him, like you said, you can't imitate Yuri, but it is a good thing that his coach has gone 5 rounds with him. Yeah. But man, I'm excited for it's going to be violence. This one and the co-main are both just, they might be the 4 scariest or definitely 4 of the top 10 scariest fighters on the roster.
Yeah.
This is just, and it's Madison Square Garden. And there's some good fights below it. We'll have our super preview for y'all later in the week, given the bets and everything. But the whole main card, I'm really excited for every fight, even the girl fight. I think that'll be a good one too. Dern versus Andrade.
Yeah, I agree. Co-main Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich. Like you said, we'll touch more on that. But who are you as we sit here today on Tuesday, the fight's Saturday, obviously. Who do you like in that one if you had a bet? If I gave you a free bet right now.
I think I would go Aspinall. just because I think he has a speed advantage. He has the grappling advantage. We don't really know about the cardio because both of them have an average fight time of about 2 minutes, but I would guess that he has the cardio advantage.
Yeah.
So as long as he can not get knocked out by Sergey in some flurry exchange in a firefight, I think he can either win by decision if he plays it soft, which I do not think will happen, or I think he could take him down and submit him. Or he might even try to box him. He might want to prove that he is a better striker than Sergey, and that's where it could get dangerous. And that's where I think
Yeah.
Sergey has a chance to knock him out. But if I had a free bet, I'm going Aspinall.
So for the number, I think Sergey is about even money. Aspinall is about -120 last time I checked. I think for the dominance, as dominant as I've seen Sergey, it'd be hard for me to see that number and not bet it. But as we talked about, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, like that his wins don't really impress me. They don't move the needle for me. So it's definitely his biggest test. This one is the one where I think it's very rare. I think a lot of times we go into fights thinking this guy's gonna win, and then that guy loses, and we're like super shocked. I think that's a lot of the like outcomes mostly. But I think in these two fights, you literally don't know what's gonna happen. Like you're shocked of what's gonna happen, but you're not shocked, if that makes sense. Like we expect, like whatever happens, I'm not surprised. But it's like, damn, that happened.
Literally, yeah, anything I think could happen in these fights. We gotta expect the unexpected here.
Really close, I think, for like in recent memory, just being a better, the main event and co-main being 2 title fights, kind of the closest lines I've ever seen for 2 title fights on a card.
Yeah, they're razor thin.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy because usually someone's in the 200s or at least 140, 150, but nothing here. If you had to predict which way the lines will move, what would you go with?
I would say we see more money come in on Pereira. I think it's been trending that way when it opened up. I think they're about to pick him. He's at -130 now. Yeah, I think just the more clearer it gets, I think people sit back and look at MB and say just what Pereira's done. And if you're like me, a better, I've obviously as a Izzy fan, I took Izzy the 2 times, and then I even think I took Jan Blachowicz on here. So yeah, I'm done betting against him. That's not to say I'm going to bet on him, but I'm for sure not betting against him because he's lost me too much money. So I just think he's finally getting the respect he deserves as far as the line goes. So yeah, I think Alex gets it done here.
He's becoming a bigger star, I feel like, too. He's starting to put more videos out there. He has a YouTube channel. He's starting to lean into English a little bit, slowly but surely.
One of the most intriguing and one of the best year and a half in the UFC ever. If he wins this title, he'd have 2 titles and fought. That's at 2 weight divisions. Like, how many guys have had 2 titles in 2 weight divisions? Like, simultaneously and non-simultaneously. It's a very, very distinct
5 or 6
group.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's insane that it's an MMA Mount Rushmore thing when you can do that, and he'll have already done that without having an MMA upbringing at all. He just transitioned over when he was already in his 30s. The dude's just a freak, though. When you have the hands of stone like that, you got the touch of death, and he's that big.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy how his leg kicks, he doesn't look like he throws them hard, but they damage people. Just looks like he kind of flicks it up.
Yeah.
And do you have a prediction for Volk and Topuria? We kind of skimmed over that one, but I kind of feel like it's a little quick after getting KO'd like that.
Yeah, I know we talked about it, and I kind of probably told you via text that I think he loses his next fight, but I'm not going to come out here and say it. I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough knockout. Who's been brutally knocked out like that and then just has a fight announcement 2 weeks later?
like I thought they got suspended for 6 months by the commission or
Bro, I'm
something
not
like
gonna
that.
lie, like retirement Volk or like just the way he kind of is scares me, bro. I don't want to see him be like Tony Ferguson.
Just because he's so reliant, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he needs that shit in his life, bro. You see Tony Ferguson training with David Goggins?
Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but I
I didn't
saw
watch
that's
that shit, bro. I didn't watch that shit either. I just saw it. Not watching that bullshit.
That's comedy. So we had two of the bigger personalities in the MMA world, Ariel Helwani and Chael Sonnen, have a pretty
Oh,
heated.
we're not the two bigger ones.
Said two slightly big ones. We're bigger, but
Okay.
yeah, two guys that are striving to be like us, Chael Sonnen and Ariel Helwani. Had a pretty strong back and forth about the Fury and Ngannou fight on Ariel's channel. I was kind of surprised, but part of me kind of thought they might have just been doing it on purpose since they're friends and they knew that it would get a lot of clicks and have people talking about it like this. What's your take on the whole ordeal?
First off, before anything, I want to get this out in the open. That's Eric's guy. Chael Sonnen is Eric's guy. Anything he says, he's responsible for. And again, I don't know. I guess that's kind of, you listen to him more than I do. So I guess that's just, you tell me all the time. That's like, and I know how Chael is in some ways. That's like his personality. But I just don't like I don't know. Like he was blatantly like just like saying shit that wasn't true, and then like Ariel would call him out on it, and then he'd be like, "Well, how do you know?" And then Ariel was like, "Well, then how do you know?" it was just super like contradicting and like super like hypocritical. Which I mean, I don't think Chael's stupid, so obviously he was like playing an act, but it was just the whole thing was kind of like the whole thing was kind of annoying. But I mean, yeah, I think Chael was for sure trolling. I think Ariel takes it kind of personally because he doesn't get kind of the respect he deserves because he's not really a fighter. So he always has that like chip on his shoulder to like prove something. So anytime someone like questions him, he takes it personal and he like, instead of just like thinking it was a joke, but I'm sure Chael was just trolling. But yeah, I mean, I watched it like last week, so I kind of forgot what it was, but like what about like how they were going back and forth. But I remember like multiple times where I was like, what the fuck is Chael talking about? Or like Ariel didn't say that, or like Ariel just said this. Why would like, you know? And then like literally like Ariel would literally just be like, Chael, that's not true. You're lying. And then Chael's response was literally like, you're lying. It's like, bro, like we're just like arguing with the wall. And it was just so like, it was just hilarious. It was literally hilarious. Like in my head, I'm like, there's no way Chael's serious because he's literally like just saying, he's just saying shit.
And Ariel was getting worked up about it as he does.
Yeah.
I didn't like when Ariel was disrespecting Jamal Hill. Do you remember that? Like a month ago, maybe him and Jamal were kind of going back and forth.
No.
Yeah, he was saying a bunch of things, and then Jamal would like call him out for it, and Ariel would try to like prove Jamal wrong by picking out certain words he said and stuff in interviews, and Jamal just wasn't having it. But yeah, it is what it is.
One thing I will say about again, and I was able to like, if it was a real debate, who knows if they were really like true what they were saying. I think Ariel was. I don't know if Chael was 100% being serious most of the time. One thing I will say from Chael that really made a lot of sense to me was he said the Fury and Ngannou fight was one of those things where it was bigger after it happened. And that's the perfect way to describe it, because was I interested in the fight? Yes. I think I watched like a couple rounds here and there, in and out. Because it was during the day on a Saturday, like I'm doing other shit. But it wasn't like one of those ones where I'm like, I just need to sit down and watch this. But like after, I'm like, I gotta go back and watch that. Like that shit was crazy. So I think from what Chael said there, that was 100% true. I thought that was a great way to explain like the whole event and like what happened.
Yeah, that's facts, because it's not like it was one of those events we were talking about for months. Like there's somewhere we'll start talking about in months out, like how this Suga Cheeto one will be, or all three of the ones that we just announced, honestly. This one we kind of probably talked about the week of, and maybe here and there throughout. But after the fact, it was bigger than probably the last couple pay-per-views, I'd say, with the backlash up until Islam Volk.
And that's kind of what Chael was saying, was like the afterthought of it doesn't sell the initial pay-per-views.
Yeah, that doesn't really make you money unless you do a rematch.
Yeah. So Chael's argument was, but then again, Chael is loyal to the UFC, so he still thinks that Francis did the wrong thing. I was on here saying that he did the wrong thing, but now I'm able to admit, like, no, he did the right thing. He proved all of us wrong. I think most of it was just Chael was just trolling.
Yeah, because at one point,
so he was just
yeah. There was one point where Chael said, like, we can agree Francis made $10 million. And then, like, later in the interview, Ariel said, like, Francis made $10 million. Chael's like, no, he didn't. Or something like that. He was contradicting, definitely. But good entertainment. And then Chael was going at Masvidal after he unleashed, like, 30 tweets at him, just gassing him, being old school Chael, back how he was during his career. Pretty funny. He's still finding a way to entertain people. And
true guy.
Facts. We're right at our magic number right now, about 32 minutes. And I'm tired. I'm tired as hell. But we'll be back here for a super preview later this week, probably Thursday, Friday, something like that. Whatever. We're both free. I appreciate you as always. And you got any closing words or things that we forgot?
No, sir. I think we're good. Stay on the hot streak betting this week. So last card, I think we did really good. So we're here. Let's go.
Come on. We'll get that spreadsheet up for y'all, the magic spreadsheet to just make your bank account number go up. And we will see y'all later this week. Deuces.